Orally transmitted teachings, Ongi Kuden, in Japanese on Buddhism Lesson 6. What is a Buddha? What is a female Buddha? The Buddha or a female Buddha is a person who daily develops a supreme state of life dominated by great wisdom, communion with the universe, characterized by indestructible happiness. The Buddha or person whose life is dominated by Buddhahood or Buddhahood will be best perceived through the following explanations. The Buddha, the female Buddha are human beings in communion with the universe and endowed with a higher state of life. To affirm that the Buddha is a being in communion with the universe is to say that the Buddha is one with the universe, that between the Buddha and the ordinary man or woman, there is no difference of nature but of degree. The female Buddha, because she is identical to the universe, understands all the phenomena of the universe. The female Buddha, because she is in communion with the universe, is the only being that can save others and thus allow them to free themselves from the sufferings of birth and death. To say that the female Buddha is a being who has developed a higher state of life is to affirm that the female Buddha in her relations with others shows compassion and great benevolence. That is to say, the female Buddha loves others so much that she proposes to save them by teaching them, protecting them, providing them with benefits. The Buddha state is a state of absolute happiness characterized by absolute tranquility that cannot be destroyed by any person, event, or thing. The second president of the Soka Gakkai, II.The, says the same thing. The state of Buddha is a state in which the fact of being alive is in itself a source of joy. Nichiren, Daishonin, in the Gosho, compares the state of Buddha with the heart of the Lion King. Your daughter can therefore play or fight anywhere without any harm happening to her. Like the Lion King, she will be free from all fear. The four virtues of the Buddha. The four virtues of Buddhahood are eternity, joy, true self, and purity. Eternity means that life is eternal. All phenomena are subject to the four stages of birth, disease, old age, death, or even appearance, development, disease, disappearance. According to this principle, all beings in the universe, whether perceived or not, continue to exist through the three phases of life: past, present, and future. For the President Ikeda, eternity is presented as follows. The perception of the eternity of life is nothing other than the perception of the moments in which life works in different ways. Joy is the opposite of suffering. It is not much to say that happiness is the first objective of the human condition. Joy is the true manifestation of our happiness. Chapter 16 of the Lotus Sutra, Juryo, Duration of the Buddha's Life, is very expressive about this Buddhahood and by extension Buddhist virtue. This, my country, will remain in peace. In this world, men live in happiness. True self. Mahayanist philosophy makes true self an eternally existing life entity as in opposition to the Brahmanical conception of true self and non-self taught by the Hinayana. The true Mahayana self rather than being the void is a state of life full of universal altruism, of joy. True self refers to an altruistic and a caring attitude toward others. The great self, Gaiga, in Japanese, is the expanded self-consciousness, which opens up identification with others, with the powerful desire to save others, to make them happy, as the Buddha emphasizes in Chapter 2, Hoben. Opportune means, from the beginning, I have vowed to make all beings perfectly equal to me without the slightest difference between them and me. In Chapter 2, Hoben, opportune means, of the Lotus Sutra, the Great Self is defined as a state of life that is opposed to the lower or small ego, shog, in Japanese, or to immediate and selfish desire. It should be noted that happiness refers to a double balance between the self and its environment on the one hand, and between the body and the mind on the other hand. Principle of Ichinen Sanzen. When you are in the illusion, you are called an ordinary being, but when you are in enlightenment you are called a Buddha. On attaining Buddhahood, Gosho number 1, Nichiren Daishonin. The purpose of the appearance in this world of the Buddha Shakyamuni, the Lord of the Teachings, lies in his behavior as a human being. Nichiren Daishonin. Purity. To say that purity is a virtue of the Buddha is to affirm that life from the beginningless past, Kwon-ganjo, is a pure entity. The state of Buddha, a state of life in situ, the law and life are one. The state of Buddha, a state of life in situ. To say that Buddhahood is a state of life in situ is to argue that Buddhas live in society and that Buddhahood is attained without changing one's appearance and, if possible, in this lifetime and immediately. The Buddha is a being who lives in society. He does not live on the margins of society. He is not Robinson Crusoe living in isolation from the rest of the world on his island. Buddhas live on earth. The earth is the abode of the Buddhas. They appear there to deliver their teachings to others. The Buddha Shakyamuni states it in the Lotus Sutra, Chapter 2. Expedient means. Attaining Buddhahood without changing one's appearance means that the state of Buddha has been within us since the distant past, and by attaining Buddhahood, we do not become someone else. The Daishonin in the Gosho, Hell, and Buddhahood, states, in truth, he was already Buddha. His Buddhahood transcends life and death. Herein lies the deeper meaning of the principle Sakushin Jobutsu, attaining Buddhahood without changing one's appearance, in Japanese. In the 4th volume of the Lotus Sutra, it says, whoever practices this sutra has the nature of the Buddha. Law and life are one. The material and spiritual aspects of the law are simultaneously linked. Consider the service of your Lord as the practice of the Lotus Sutra. Nichiren Daishonin in the Gosho, reply to a believer, Gosho no. 116. Today, in this era of Sakatic Mappo, the service of your Lord is nothing but our socio-professional activities. Daily activities are the geometric place of the realization of Nippo Aika and Kosen Rufu. Nichiren Daishonin confirms in the Gosho, the place where we believe in the Lotus Sutra, Gohonzon, is indeed the place of Buddha's training. To go elsewhere from here, the place of training means, therefore, the place where Nichiren and his disciples recite Nam-myoho Renge-kyo, whether it be mountain, valley, vast plain. This is the land of the Buddha, the land of eternally peaceful light. It is called the place of Buddha's training. Male and female Buddhas are mere mortals. The Buddha and the female Buddha have no mystical powers. You don't have to sell your Ferrari, abandon your family, your luxurious house, become a sramana, wandering monk and beggar, to reach Buddhahood. Neither the master nor the disciples need to endure countless kalpas of austere practices to attain Buddhahood. Through the power of the Lotus Sutra of the Wondrous Law, they can achieve this in this lifetime. The Buddha and the female Buddha are far from being hikikomori, these Japanese, 500,000 who live cloistered, secluded in their house, away from society. Thus, the state of Buddha takes the opposite view of the famous French philosopher, Blaise Pascal's reflection, according to which, to be happy, one must live hidden. The attainment of Buddhahood is not related to any racial, geographical, or historical consideration. Did the Buddha not say in the Lotus Sutra this, all the children of the world of the 3 planes are my children? In the Antilotusic teachings, attaining Buddhahood was struck by exclusivity. That is to say, the gates of Buddhahood were closed to women, bad people, people of Niyo. The teaching of the sacred peak of the eagle by universalizing the attainment of Mount Sumeru makes Buddhism an inclusive religion. No verse of the Praetor Sutra's Lotusis, favorable to the Lotus Sutra, in Latin, makes the attainment of Buddhahood the preserve of monks to the exclusion of the laity. The original Sangha was composed of monks and laymen. Buddha's wisdom is not meant only to be taught. Therefore, Buddha's wisdom can be put at the service of society in other ways. Thus, Buddhas can appear everywhere in bodies of socio-professional activities as diverse as they are varied. A politician can flood the political sphere with his wisdom. A female athlete can put her Buddhist wisdom to good use by performing in her field. A social worker, a lay teacher can create values through their wisdom. Even when they become Buddhas, they can continue to carry out their activities. The list is not exhaustive. Buddhahood can be attained immediately and in this lifetime. This characteristic of attaining Buddhahood is reflected in the 16th chapter, Juryo, the duration of the Buddha's life, of the Lotus Sutra. I am constantly thinking about how to make the others enter the supreme path without delay. This outpouring of benevolence of the Buddha means that Buddhahood can be attained in this lifetime, and this, after 1, 2 months, a year, 2 years of practice, and not necessarily in the evening of one's life, after long years, several lifetimes of practice, and this by accumulating austerities and merits as prescribed in the Antilotusic teachings. The three bodies of the Buddha. The three bodies of the Buddha refer to the three bodies with which a Buddha is endowed: the body of the Dharma or law, the body of appearance, and the body of retribution. The Dharma body or Buddhist law. The Dharma body refers to Buddhist law or Nam-myoho Renge-kyo, of which it is a reflection and which must be propagated. The Dharma body refers to the wisdom of Buddhism that opens up the Buddha's ability to teach the law. The retribution body. The body of retribution proceeds from the practice of bodhisattva and female bodhisattva. The body of retribution refers to the wisdom deployed by the Buddha to teach others and, ultimately, to save others from the suffering of birth and death. In concrete terms, the body of retribution is the body of benevolence, ji, in Japanese, karuna, in Sanskrit, or compassion. The body of manifestation or apparition. The body of manifestation or apparition is the physical form in which a Buddha appears in the world to save others from samsaric cycles. The three virtues of the Buddha. These three virtues of the Buddha appear in Chapter 2, Hoben, opportune means, and are hidden in the parable of the house on fire in Chapter 3, Analogies and Comparison. These are the virtues of sovereign, master, parent. The virtue of a sovereign. By the virtue of a sovereign, the Buddha has the power to protect others. The virtue of a master. Through the virtue of a teacher, the Buddha deploys his wisdom to instruct others, to lead all living beings to enlightenment. Through the virtue of parenthood, the Buddha activates his benevolence or compassion for the purpose of saving others, nourishing and sustaining them in their life. After ingesting this educational capsule, it will be possible for you to deepen your knowledge on this theme by referring to my sutras or writings of a Buddha, in Sanskrit, where it is developed at length. These sutras are available, in French, the original version, in American English and in German in paperback and Kindle books on all Amazon sales sites. Regarding the Amazon KDP links to my sutras, please refer to my TikTok or Facebook profiles or even to Lesson 11 of my teachings. All my videos are compiled on my 3 YouTube channels, Kosen Rufu TV, English Kosen Rufu TV and Kosen Rufu Well. For the links to these channels, see my bio or type the title of the channel of your choice in the Google search bar.